All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Talk Rockets, episode number 25 here. Guys, we have great news. Well, first off, as we're recording this live on YouTube, I'm in Thompson and Cam Whitmore being introduced to the Houston Rockets organization. So we are going to go through that. We're going to go through what these guys are saying, their answers to, the questions, et cetera, et cetera. But before we do, first off, appreciate all the love on our live streams, man. We are growing, we're moving. We're getting a lot of people watching these live. We're getting a lot of people watching these post live. And the good news officially is Let's Talk Rockets is available on both. Well, we've been available on Spotify for a while now, but now Let's Talk Rockets is an official podcast, technically, according to Apple. I'll show you guys right here. This episode will be live on it later in the day. I think it takes probably like around an hour or whatever. But, if you're watching this here on YouTube, you can see it. There it is right there. Bang, bang, bang. The links to Apple Podcasts down below. Spotify Podcast down below. My Twitter down below. They're all down below. So stay tuned for that. I recommend following the Twitter so you get like more direct links. So you can stay up to date with it. But with that being said, man, seriously, appreciate all the love that we're getting here. I really, it's kind of hard to believe everything we're posting right now is getting like 1,000 views. While we're live, we're getting like 200 live viewers. It's kind of crazy. What's up to my man, Joe's Fresh? How you doing? What's up to my man, Eric? What's up to my man, Shade? We have a potential to Let's Talk Rocket streams today. This one shouldn't be too long. But Victor, what is up? The press conference is right now. It is currently going on. I don't think, let me check. What is Jackson Gatlin's podcast called? Let's Lockdown Rockets. One time recently, we were going through Jackson Gatlin, like he had a tweet or something, and somebody like was not a fan of that. But that's the only comment I've ever gotten on that. I thought possibly he would be streaming these right now, but I don't see it on YouTube. And even if I did, I don't think we would legally be able to play it. And anyways, it ended 10 minutes ago, so never mind. Neither here nor there. We have a couple of tweets here from Gatlin, and we'll check out some other Rockets content. I haven't looked through any of these, so I'm excited to see what we got going on here. Ime Udoka, I'm balancing Rockets rotations and minutes moving forward. Nothing is handed out anymore. Everything is earned. You got to love it. And we're also going to talk a little bit about free agency and the Rockets' current roster once we skim through these tweets here, because new stuff just kind of is breaking like every day at this point. We just had our, the first official trade post-draft, right? John Collins just got traded for Rudy Gay. Yes, Rudy Gay is still in the NBA. And a future second-round pick, like, oh my goodness. The worst trade in the world for the Hawks. Is it live anywhere? I'm here for the better twin, Azar. Perfect. Illinois, JK. Shout out to the Rockets young team. They're coming. I don't have the link, Victor. Apparently, it just concluded. So anyways, very true. Ime Udoka. And that's, one of the reasons that we loved the hiring so much. Obviously, he made the NBA Finals in his first year as the Boston Celtics head coach. But you can just tell Ime's a good coach. And you could tell that these guys are going to respect him. They're going to listen to him. They know that Ime has their best interests at heart, the team's best interests at heart. We all just want to win. We all have a common goal. And so let's come together. Let's unite as a team. Competition is always great. Both Thompson twins are very mature. They're very mature. What is up to my man, B. Cozy? How you doing, man? Nice to hear from you. You can tell Amon's a very high IQ NBA player. So let's just get through this and then we'll dissect it. Amon Thompson on what he wants his career to look like. Hopefully a lot of championships, a winning player. Someone who will do anything for his team. Some MVPs, some depoys. I love it. I absolutely love it. Raphael Stone on Amon Thompson. When you see something special, you know it's special. Ooh, we got this. Amon Thompson and Cam Whitmore asked to describe each other's game. Amon on Cam. Super athletic. Shooting. Can break anyone down. He's like a freight train, to be honest. He was at the top of my board. Cam on Amon. Tall guard. Jump out of the gym. Athletic finisher. Defend. Rebound. Really anything. Really everything. I saw there's that tweet scrolling around on Rockets Twitter right now of Cam Whitmore being asked all these random ass questions, and like the theme was that they all had something to do with his name, Cam. And like the quote that's going viral right now is like, oh, now I see why he slid to us, because he sounds dumb as hell in these interviews. I'm watching this video and I'm like, I don't know half of the things that this interviewer is asking Cam Whitmore. Like, I just don't know anything of what he's being asked. And that's it. Okay, cool. That's it. So let's hide this really quickly, even though I don't really DM anybody. You never know. Yeah, I really don't DM anybody. But this is something I found. This is something I found a little interesting. I'm all set on it, but it was a Bleacher Report trade. The Rockets received Ben Simmons, a first-round pick, a bunch of second-round picks. The Nets received Kevin Porter Jr. All set on it. I'm just chilling with that. So, what was the guy I want to talk about? So, all right, real quick though, I guess that's like the headliners to the presser. I actually didn't even really know what was going on, so I'll have to go watch that. See if we got anything here. Amon Thompson on what he wants. Hopefully championships, winning player. Seems like the same. He watched every second of Amon Thompson's 6 games of overseas basketball. My GM did his homework. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. I don't think I'm allowed to play these technically. Leadership, defense, intangibles, being a good locker room guy. All right. So, yeah, I mean, that's really it. Jonathan Fain. All right, thank you. I don't really actually know how to find this dude, but spell that. It's Jon. Jonathan. Yeah, I have no idea how to find this dude. Spell it wrong. You guys can't even see this. Jonathan Feigen. Oh shit. Word. All right. Oh, I got all these gnats. It's on my eye. I got all these gnats in this freaking apartment for some reason. Rockets preseason include games for Spurs. Let's go. Comment on Cam Whitmore is on top of my board. GM Raphael Stone mentioned what Troy Weaver, the Pistons GM, said about spotting talent no matter where it is. Weaver's quote, "You can say that when you see something different, you see something elite. I think Halle Berry is pretty in church or in the grocery store." Nice. So Ime Udoka said playing time will be needed by the rookies and returning players for all the talk of phase 2. That is a factor not often mentioned. Playing time will not be for development's sake. So this is like kind of where I personally, and I would imagine a lot of Rocket fans as well, are thinking here, do we bring in Freddie? Do we bring in James Harden? Do we bring all these players in? Brook Lopez, Dylan Brooks, Freddie Double V. I think realistically that doesn't give us much wins different than, starting all of our young talent. We've talked a lot about recently. I'm not as high on Dylan Brooks anymore now that Cam Whitmore was drafted, and it still applies. I think I still want the developed. I just think there's too much talent with our young guys, and the potential is unreal with so much of our young players. Specifically Cam Whitmore and Amon Thompson coming to the team now, but even last year's draft picks and Jabari Smith Jr., Tari Eason, even Ty Washington Jr., the draft before with LP, Jalen Green. Or there's so much talent. And then we have guys kind of on the outskirt, it appears, like KJ Martin Jr., Jay Sean Tate, definitely Daishan Nix, Usman Garuba, Josh Christopher. We got some guys who, even if they're on the Rockets roster, like all the guys I just named, if they're on the Rockets roster next season, I mean, they probably won't be playing. So I look at a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I think to myself, this is a squad that almost made the play-in last year, right? They were in the play-in for a decent bit in the last half of the season, and they had no vets starting at all. Like their one vet was Derek Favors. Did Derek Favors even finish on the? Wasn't he a Rocket at some point last season, or was this 2 years ago? Like the Thunder have so much young talent, and they didn't even get any vets to surround them with. That's more the approach that I'm looking to go for. I really think my veteran free agents are, I like Monty Morris. Not great on the defensive side. What's up, Arturo? How you doing, man? I like more of your Monty Morrises, your Patrick Beverleys. I'm very, very surprised how many Rocket fans don't want Amen Thompson to start day one. It's very surprising to me. And I think it's going to change immediately in the Summer League. I think Amen Thompson is just going to feast. I think Cam Whitmore is just going to feast as well. And I think by then it'll be a little bit more apparent that, these guys need to play next season. The issue is once Summer League officially starts for us, especially because we're only in Vegas Summer League, which is a little bit, what does that start? July 7th. Free agency begins on June 30th or July 1st, sorry. So, we might have some new players by the time Summer League starts. And, I'm just picturing a world where it's like, oh, shoot, all right, the Rockets just signed, we just signed Dylan Brooks and we just signed Freddie Double V. And Amen Thompson just won Summer League MVP, and Cam Whitmore was just a fucking beast. Now what? Like, shoot, okay. One thing we were talking about on my show today was apparently Dylan Brooks is not getting much attention. And it's becoming more and more of a lock and a reality that the Houston Rockets are going to sign Dylan Brooks. Dylan wants something around $17 to $18 million a year. We have $47.1 million it is that we need to spend 90% of our salary cap. So whether it's Dylan Brooks or Cam Johnson or Fred or Brook Lopez, all these free agents that are being rumored, it's like, we're going to overpay so that they come to Houston. I really don't want to pay Dylan Brooks 17 to 18 million a year. It seems honestly like he's going to be getting, maybe like 14 million at best, 13 a year. Naz Reid, for example, yesterday got re-signed 3 years, $42 million. I don't think if I woke up on July 1st, is that Friday or is that Saturday? On Saturday, if I woke up and I saw a tweet saying the Rockets signed Dylan Brooks, 3 year, $42 million contract, that doesn't really, if that's the contract, all right. Now, if they were to do that, 3 year, $42 million, goodbye Jay Sean Tate. I think it's goodbye Jay Sean Tate regardless. I'm not necessarily itching to get Jay Sean Tate out of here or KJ Martin Jr. I'm more inclined to keep KJ because of his youth and potential. But, one thing we're really seeing, it seems like from what Ime is saying or Raphael Stone saying, or just like, the Rockets projected offseason, it seems like we're going to be pinpointing some veterans to come on in here and play to help get us some wins. And these young guys are going to have to fight it out and battle to the death for rotational minutes. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it. Now, maybe, this time next year I'll be eating my words because the Rockets just made the 4th seed because, Freddie, Dylan, and Brook Lopez helped us out, whatever. I'll admit I'm wrong there, maybe. But I don't want – what's up, Thurman? How you doing, man? Nice to hear from you. Right? T-Man Thurman. I just think, man, I think our potential is way too high. I don't know why we would go out there and get 40-minute veterans. I want rotational vets. And I don't even want that many. I want 2. Give me Pat Bev. Give me Patrick Beverly and give me I'm not really sold on Dwight Powell. I don't think we can get Jakob. I don't think we'll get Brook. I'd take Brook, but get me Bev and Brook. That's really all I need, man. I think Alman should definitely start, but in all these sports, I'm gonna trust Ime, especially with comments like on the screen here. I'm gonna just trust Ime here, basically, put my faith in him, as we all should. But I'm not in the practices. I'm not in the workouts. I'm not talking to these guys on an everyday basis. So, there's just a lot of things that go into lineups, especially in like football, because it's a 53-man roster. Basketball's, we got just 15 guys to figure out the minutes, but I think Amin should 100% start. But my point that I'm trying to make here is if Ime Udoka and the Rockets coaches, they're, watching the summer league, they're in the practices, they're in the scrimmages, they're in all these places, they're eating up the film, blah, 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 blah. And they don't think Amin Thompson should start. All right, don't start Amin Thompson. I'm fine with it if that's the route they want to go in. But with that being said, I'd rather have a KPJ come on and fill out point guard for us in the meantime. And that's why I'm a fan of Pat Bev coming out here. I'm a fan of, less inclined for Monty Morris, but, it is there. I don't think, Jordan Clarkson or Monty Morris are really that important to us because I think KPJ can just do what they do better. But I 100% want Kevin on the team next year. And, having him just start one more season at point guard just to see what we got here, because he's done nothing but improve since he joined our organization. That gets me going. I wish Ty was maybe entering year 3, and that would be a little bit different, maybe. But I do understand these young guys coming in here, and if you're trying to win, they're probably not the best options available. If we really have to spend that much money in free agency or in the off season. I have a feeling there's going to be one Rocket signing. There's got to be one Rocket signing in free agency that a lot of us look at and be like, I don't know if that's, whether it's the player, the money, the length, whatever it is. I think there's going to be one guy where it's like, 2-year, $40 million, 2 years, $70 million contract for a DWV. Like, whoa, shit, might be chilling there. Jacob, what's up, my man? Always showing love on the comments on my Twitter. Yeah. Thurman wants Brooks, Seth, and Pat. Seth Curry. Haven't heard Seth Curry much. Really at all, honestly. I haven't heard Seth Curry's name at all. More so in the beginning of free agency or offseason, sorry. For Rockets prioritize 30-year-old Brook Lopez over 20-year-old future star Alperen Şengün. Maybe it's best we trade Şengün while he still has value. Well, I don't, I'm actually pretty sure Brook Lopez saw a lot of minutes per game last season. Like, I'm going to guess 34. Just get a quick fact check. He will be 36 next April. Played almost all 82 games. Oh, he only, all right, 30.4 minutes. Let's look at Şengün. I believe he saw close to 30 last season as well. 15, 9, and 4, man. I agree with you, Matt. 28.9. Brook, what concerns me about Brook Lopez being signed to the Rockets outside of, trying to develop Şengün into a literal star here, one of the things that concerns me is you're either going to start Brook and Şengün's coming off the bench, which doesn't really get me going. At that point, I'd rather have more of like a Clint Capella, like a 25 max minute per game player, like Steven Adams, a Clint Capella, a guy who's just going to protect that rim. He's a good rim runner, but offensively, there's just not much there. You got to worry a little bit about clogging the paint with our young cats, but basically, you're either starting Brook and Şengün's coming off the bench, or you're starting both of them. And Jabari seems like he'd be the odd man out in that equation if we're actually going to sign Dylan Brooks. Well, now it's like, shit, now Jabari's coming off the bench. Now we have Amin, Jabari. Let's say you get Freddie, you get Dylan Brooks, and it's like, shit, all right, now Amin's coming off the bench. KPJ's coming off the bench. Jabari's coming off the bench. Tari's coming off the bench. Cam's coming off the bench. All these guys coming off the bench. It's a lot of freaking bench players. And how much better did we get? Because of Brook Lopez, Fred, and Dylan Brooks. Probably max, that's not a 50-win team. That's not a 50-win team. So, yeah, I mean, I agree. I've just never really been sold on the Brook Lopez to Houston idea. It's just never really gotten me going. We'll see. The thing with Brook Lopez was he got injured, right? Wasn't it his back? And yeah, he only played 13 games, and yeah, he wasn't really doing anything crazy. He's still getting blocks though, Matt. It's still at least a block and a half. But yeah, I agree, man. Anytime a guy hits 35, some regression is expected. It's anticipated. And, last year, Brook had such a phenomenal year, like borderline all-star. The Bucks playoffs, not really much to look at. He fucking killed it, dude. In the playoffs, he shot 58% from the field, 41% from downtown, 19 points, 6.5 rebounds, a steal and a half, and almost 2 blocks per game. Brook Lopez had a great 5 games for the unfortunate Milwaukee Bucks' playoff run. These 3 notifications are just really, I'm just going to see it. Hey, my man Gio. Hey, Rockets Propaganda. If you're watching right now, appreciate you. But yeah, man. So questions. Really good problem to have. A lot of mouths to feed. I've noticed myself going back and forth with KJ. Because we're talking about that on the show today. It's like we know he requested a trade. And that's like, all right, well, if he requested a trade, why isn't he traded? Like, I just don't understand it. If they don't see a future with KJ Martin Jr., they've had plenty of drafts. They've had plenty of deadlines. They've had plenty of off seasons to trade him. He's still on the team. So I don't think they're trying to trade him. And then, yeah, shooting off the bench, Rockets need shooting. Cam Whitmore should be able to shoot at least 35% from downtown next year. But we have too much young players that need minutes. Signing all these players will just create a logjam. And then, you have to think about just players not being happy either. KJ coming up again could definitely happen. I think Jabari and Tari are, safe for at least a year if they're both coming off of the bench. But, I agree, man. I just don't. I want to play them. I want to play these cats. So they got to play, but then, the Rockets are going to have to make some difficult decisions. Like, the more I think about it, man, I like Jacob a lot. Actually, I love him. Dude's a bucket. I don't think he has any trade value, so is he going to be in a trade? I mean, probably not. Daishan Nix probably just not going to be on the roster next year. But yeah, he's under contract. These guys are under contract. All the guys that aren't under contract next year for Houston it's like Boban, DJ. Who else? I mean, it's just, yeah. I don't even need, I like looking at teams like the Grizzlies and the Thunder, and it's just like they're not oversaturating their young talent with, all these veterans to get in their way. selective veterans, Steven Adams. But Steven Adams doesn't run into, Triple J's minutes. Decisions, man. Decisions. I think so far the way the Rockets offseason's been would be so perfect if it was last year. Like if this was all just last year, that would be awesome. Get a vet, get 2 vets, and just play these young cats. Man, they might surprise you. So, yeah, there's just a lot of equations going into the Rockets right now. Let's poke back on it. Actually, let's take a look at what is that website? Real GM. They just give us the Rockets roster. Share the screen. Hey, 0 tucks given. What's up to my man Austin Tucker up in here? Yeah, I saw this one earlier. I saw this on Twitter. The recent reporting has strongly suggested James Harden will likely re-sign with Philadelphia, but a source close to him tells Sam Amick of The Athletic that the Houston Rockets remain a serious possibility. The Rockets are still in play for Harden despite the additions at the draft of Thompson and Cam Whitmore. My thing with James Harden, man, is he wanted to leave to win. What's he coming back for? He's back from his boat. That's a throwback joke. Oh my goodness. I think y'all are tripping about the logjam. It's a good problem to have. Our bench is gonna be deep AF. Bring me Freddie Double V and Lopez. Ime will play Lopez 24, and then Şengün 30 minutes. That theory right there works for me. Ime basically said that the young guys are going to play. Vets are for mentorship. I saw a possible D Rose. I didn't, not to play D Rose, but just to have him come off the bench. I wasn't a fan of that. Can you actually go to teams and see their news? Can we click it? No. Do we have Wi-Fi? I do have Wi-Fi issues today. All right. Can we click any team? How about the Bulls? Nothing. Come on, mate. Are we just frozen? There's so many ads on this thing. Can we go there? All right. Bro, go to the Rockets. All right, there we go. Oh, my goodness. Guys, hit that like button. I was trying to get 50 likes on today's live stream. I think we've hit it 2 straight days. Yeah, this is what we were just talking about. Dylan Brooks looking for a deal higher than – get these fucking ads off of this goddamn screen, man. Jeez, dude. These guys got to be raking in cash. Another one. Hello. Chris Middleton. Let's hear some thoughts on Chris Middleton. I'm chilling on it. Cam Johnson's one of the guys that I wouldn't mind overpaying. $100 million, 4 years. I'd be fine with that. I don't think Bruce Brown makes too much sense for the Houston Rockets. I do think Dante DiVincenzo would be perfect. I think he'd be a nice utility piece, jack of all trades. Can even play the wing. He's just going to be there. Dante DiVincenzo is just kind of a guy who's going to do a little bit of everything right. So I like the idea of Dante a lot. We talked about that yesterday. Dwight briefly mentioned Dwight earlier. Jakob Poeltl. I don't even really know what's going on with Jakob Poeltl. But how do we go to the depth chart? News today. Rockets interested in everyone available or not available on one side and trade for everyone. All right. I guess I'm tweaking, man. I guess you can't go to depth charts anymore on this website. Unless I'm just straight up tweaking. I guess I'm straight up tweaking. Real quick reminder, guys, follow the Apple podcast down below. This episode will be live on it. All the episodes will be live on it. We're also on Spotify. I think we have 8 followers on Spotify, which is pretty solid. Oh my goodness. Austin with some takes here today. So you're just throwing Jabari on the bench. You're chilling with Jabari starting. KPJ should be the starting small forward is nutty. A backcourt of Fred, KPJ, and Jalen Green. Oh, I don't know. That worries me. Y'all think Amon starting at the 1? I don't think so. I want him to, and I think that is the best route. I think by the time Summer League is over, it'll be abundantly clear that Amon Thompson needs to start. But by then, we'll have free agency will already have begun. So we'll probably know, who our starting point guard is. But as Austin's saying here, Amon off the bench isn't the worst thing in the world. Why is there an ant? I see an ant. What are you doing over there, man? The ants in this state bite. And then they itch. So get the fuck out of here. And I'm actually just going to kill you quickly. May your soul rest in peace. All right, let's take a minute of silence. Playing would be hard to distribute with too many young guys. I believe a lot of them will go to the G League. Like, Usman comes to mind, Jacob. I think Ty regardless of who's – I don't think the Rockets can make no moves right now, and I think Ty is going to be in the G League. Cam and Dante are pretty good pickups. Yeah. Yeah, Cam at the small forward. I feel like Ime will start Amon. Rockets in the playoffs next season. GSC. Let's get it, baby. Hell yeah. Love to hear that one. Amon running the floor from the 3 would let KPJ play off the ball at the 1. Amon's versatile. You'll see some lineups out there with him not being the primary ball handler 100%, starting or bench. I like this. We talked about it yesterday. I liked the idea a lot of KPJ and Amon Thompson running the bench unit as our guards. I think it would be perfect. I think Amon is just such a smart basketball player that even though he can't shoot efficiently or from 3 really at all, I'm curious what that's going to be like next year with our coaching. But I don't think it'll be that bad. But Amon off ball gets me excited with KPJ, and then KPJ off ball with Amon gets me excited too. So, that's the that's also there. I wonder what Amon, what if they sign Pat Bev and, what if they sign a Pat Bev / Dante DiVincenzo / Monty Morris and Fred? Well, then it's going to be interesting for Amon. Yeah, still just really good problems to have. What's up, Joshua? See if we got any Cam Thomas is trending. Bol's trending. Just another day. Another day, another dollar. All right. Let's see what we got. Yeah, doesn't seem like much. So go ahead, fire off some questions or some comments. This shit's gotta get cut tomorrow. Looks ugly. But yeah, I gotta make a video. Got some plans tonight here. Possibly, never mind. But still got some work to do. So I appreciate y'all tuning in to Let's Talk Rockets episode number 25, which will be on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And the links are in the description. I'll also throw up a community tab about it later today. And yeah, my Twitter is also down there. But who knows, man? My plans fall through. Maybe we'll hop on the mic and talk about some Rockets. Yeah, and yeah, we'll talk Rockets. What's up, RJ? All right, hit the like button, hit that sub button.